Right. A little bit of Ganoderma. See if I got the right pronunciation. Apellanatum. It's basically the artist conk. So this is the stuff you see people sometimes leaving little messages on the underside of conks on trees. So I'm going to give this one a try, and I found that it is to some degree successful. Now, not every one of these is going to produce a felt, but I did find that younger specimens you can pound out a felt. This is a felt that's been created from a relatively large piece of Ganoderma. This one was pretty successful in creating a felt. I found that this is not as successful with the flint and steel as it is with an older method, the marcasite and flint, and we'll give that a try later. Let's give it a try with the flint and steel. Sometimes it will work and sometimes it will not. I'm going to rough up the edge. This works for all of these. If you can rough up the edge that's on the flint, it will catch the spark a lot better. And there it started and stopped. I don't know if you can see this, but the edge of this shows some burning, but the spark from the flint and steel is just not quite long enough lived to get this rolling. So occasionally it'll pick it up and it will make an ember, but not always. Perhaps you'll have better luck with this species than I have so far. Let me show you what works with the flint and the marcasite though. I'm going to fluff this up. So I've got a nice little bed of fiber here. I'm going to try to knock some sparks off this. This is a very old method. It predates steel. And you see this is a pretty good tinder material for the marcasite and flint. And of course, you can use marcasite and flint with any of these other Amadous that I've shown so far. Alright, other species. Let's see, and then burn this whole thing up. I'll just try to get it out. Red-belted conk was tried. Now, I don't have a specimen of red-belted conk to show you, but just the Amadou that was produced from the conk. And this is a little more like, instead of like brain tan leather in consistency, it's more like bark tan leather. Some of it can get pretty fluffy. This I have not had much success in using it as a tinder material. Actually, it seems to resist the sparks with the flint and steel. I'll give it a try. This piece is pretty fluffy, but it's going to need a little more fluffing on the edge. If there's any hope of getting a spark to catch. And we'll give it a try, but I suspect that this is not going to go. been very intermittent in its ability to catch a spark. So, keep trying maybe with some red-belted conch. It's pretty common, makes a pretty nice little felt, but so far it's not been very successful at catching sparks. It does sometimes catch the marcasite and flint. I'd like to show another couple of fungi that might be useful in your tinder kit. You may be familiar with this one. It's not a conch. This is sometimes called cramp balls. It's sometimes called King Alfred's cakes. It's a small hard fungus that grows on the sides of trees. In our area, we see it a lot on oaks. And it's basically almost a little piece of carbon. It's almost like a little briquette here. And when you light this, it makes a really nice punk. You can actually use it exactly like you would a piece of charcoal for cooking too. So bear this species in mind when you're looking for materials for your fire. I have another one here that was kind of a surprise. This one is Dyer's polypore, and this was found on a stump that was the remainder of a Douglas fir, but it grows on other hosts as well. Not much to look at in its dried state here. People do use it for coloring wool. It does create a dye. If you pare away the outside, it has an interior that resembles a nice piece of chaga, and that made me interested in whether or not it would be a good tinder fungus. So I have a piece here that I'm going to rough up a little bit, and we'll see if we can't catch a spark.